All right, so power in the golf swing. Where does power come from? That's the first question I ask everybody. A couple things that I hear a lot of about where power comes from is I get a lot of people that tell me, oh, power in the golf swing's from the hips. Okay, in what way? Like downswing, really got to make sure you turn those hips. I'm like, okay. So power's in the hips. And I go to try to hit one, and I'm really going to try to hit one by turning my hips as best I can. What happened? Why didn't the ball move? I didn't hit it. Why? The hips moved a lot, right? But the ball didn't go anywhere. It's because my arms didn't move, right? Just because my hips move, if I just leave my arms alone and turn, that's another one I've heard instructors say, none of that adds speed and power. So if you're ever told to squat, spin, jump to maximize GRFs, I don't teach that way because I believe that it's dangerous on the body and the spine. It creates an excessive amount of side bending in order to reach the ground, right? Your spine only has about 35 to 40 degrees max of lateral flexion this way and this way. If I turn open to my target and I'm told this needs to be impact, and I'm open and my knees got to be bent and I got to side bend over with this right arm, it's like I can't go far enough to hit the ground, and that hurts. So why would I ever want somebody to do it? Just because they're young and they can move that way doesn't mean that they should. If I can teach them how to move more efficiently so that they don't ever have to change their golf swing through their entire life, they can play golf till they die. I don't want your golf swing to cause an injury. Speed comes from moving the club around your body on an arc and adding arcs together. Everything in golf works on an arc. Your elbow, this works on an arc. This works on an arc. You're tilted over, your hands, your arms, and the club work around your body on an arc, right? You add all these arcs together, and that helps create angular momentum and centrifugal force to help propel the club faster and faster, okay? You can't do it with just the body alone. Muscles are not rubber bands. Your arms aren't instinctive. Your brain has to tell them how to move. Anytime I tell people that power is created using all the joints, every joint must be accounted for, they usually lose their mind, because everything has been talked about for the last 30 to 35 years in golf of just use the body, leave the arms alone and turn, but it doesn't work that way. Somebody who says they do that, they're still moving their arms. They either just don't realize it or they're just really efficient with it, so they don't have to think about it, and it does it anyway. Tour pros, right? But I can tell you this, the average tour pro reaches their fastest hand speed, meaning the point in their golf swing that their hands are moving the fastest. If this is the top of their backswing, they reach the fastest hand speed right about here. Well, they still got to get the club head down there. Club head speed's measured from the ball, not from back here. So this is their fastest point of their hands. From here, the hands are actually slowing down as the wrists are actually unloading the club head and the club head's accelerating. Think of cracking a bullwhip. What comes first? The pullback of the wrist and arm or the snap of the whip? The pullback. I have to pull this back to send the club or the tip of the whip forward to make it crack. So you can't turn the hips and not move the arm. You have to actually force your arms to accelerate. So that's where power comes from. We move the hands and arms around the body on an arc, transferring angular momentum into the club head to maximize the acceleration factor of the club head. Okay, a lot of hoopla. Couple things that we can do. These are a couple really good drills that I like to do for speed. First one I like is called hit hard, stop quick. Okay, if you're driving 100 miles an hour down the road and you've got a boatload of stuff in the back of your car, it's in the back seat, and you all of a sudden have to slam on the brakes. What happens to all that stuff in the back seat? Ends up in your dashboard. Similar concept. So if we hit this as hard as we can and try to mash the brakes at the bottom, this club head starts accelerating, will actually reach maximum acceleration. So contrary to what everybody's been told by, oh, you got to follow through, Actually, no. Tommy Fleetwood is a great example. He hits the brakes really short. He stops right here. There's no wrapping around his neck. All that does is actually hurt your shoulders, hurt your elbows, and your spine. Hit hard, stop quick. I am not trying to slow down and slow the club head down and stop. I'm trying to hit it and then keep this as short as I can. I don't want it slow here. I want fast with no follow through. Longer, stop it short, okay? Normal setup, normal length backswing. Still gonna make our backswing as long as we can. Follow through gets really short, but I'm unloading that as fast as I can at the bottom because the hands are actually stopping or slowing down. So now the wrist can unload and create maximum club head speed at the ball. So hit hard, stop quick is a fantastic drill to do. Another thing that we can pair to this is a modified bowler drill. So a lot of people don't know this, but the primary source of power in the golf swing is your left arm moving in an arc across your chest and away from your chest. We call this adduction or adding to the body. We call this abduction or moving away. This motion here is your primary power lever, okay? So most people, they try this and they slow down because they hit hard, stop quick, and they keep this arm pinned to their body and they get right here and stop and it slows down. This has to actually get further away from the body in the downswing in order to accelerate it. Think of the whip. I don't just get here and move my shoulder and keep my arm there. It's like, nope, I got to move my arm away from me, right? Create this longer in order to snap that thing. So when I want to hit this and work on hit hard, stop quick, the way that I train my left arm to move away from my shoulders and forward on an arc is I actually have to isolate my arm from my body. So I like to take this setup. I get super wide with my feet, drop my right foot back a ton, okay? As you can see here, this whole foot is way behind my left heel, right? What this does is this allows me to turn and create a really big arc in the backswing, but it doesn't allow me to really spin my body open much. I really have to work hard to do that. But it does help me move my left arm away from my shoulder and actually get it lowering and moving towards the target earlier, which allows me to accelerate it faster. We'll set up, demonstrate it. Really wide stance, right foot way back. I'm going to try and turn, but keep my body to my back to the target as long as I can. I'm gonna pull my arms down as fast as I can, leaving my body alone. It will always follow a little bit, but I'm trying not to move it because I want my arm to move down and away. So if we demonstrate this, and it's another drill done fast, it's not one that's done slowly. So when I got to impact, I felt like my shoulders were back here. They were probably here, but I wasn't open and facing the target at all. All I tried to do was move this as fast as humanly possible. When I do that, I actually generate more club head speed because now I'm cracking the whip properly. There's a lot of pros to stopping short in addition to learning how to accelerate the club head and stop the hands to create braking. But also when we stop short, this has to unload at the right time, so it helps us find out where we strike the ground. We can't hit it far if we don't hit the ball first and the ground second, right? So this helps you unload the wrists and the arms more efficiently, but it also helps you find the ground more efficiently so that you can transfer all that speed into the ball. Makes no difference if I swing 108 miles an hour with a 7-iron if I can't hit the golf ball first, right? If I don't hit the ground at all and I don't catch the golf ball in the middle of the face and I hit it down here, that ball's probably not going very far, right? Because I'm either going to top it or it's going to fly too low and it won't carry. Something I've talked about in recent videos called spine extension. We can't swing the club fast with a short arc, okay? We just don't have enough time to accelerate it. So the wider and the longer we can make this swing arc, the better. But if you start going too far, you lose the ability to control where you strike the ground. It doesn't matter if you swing it fast or not, you won't hit it very far, right? But too many people that I find set up and they go to hit a shot that looks like this because they're told to load into their right side and they look like this, right? Well, in relation to that yellow flag out there that I've hit, I hit that about 15 to 16 yards short of where I was hitting everything else. And the reason being is when you keep your chest pointed down here to the right, the only way I can get the club up is to fold my arms. And now any width that I got in this backswing is gone. Not to mention when your chest gets over here, if I'm trying to get this up here and the arms bend, now my shoulders are jacked up and I'm going to strain my back a lot and I'm not going to swing the club very fast. So in order to make a really wide arc, as we turn, we actually need to extend our spine so that we actually feel like we're leaning slightly towards the target. Scotty Scheffler is a great example. People like to claim that that's a reverse pivot. Well, Scotty Scheffler leans back about 10 or 12 degrees. The average tour pro is 2, right? He's 10 or 12, and he hits the ball really far, really consistent, really straight. Nobody's better than Scotty Scheffler right now. So when we go to hit shots far and we set up, I need you to feel like your upper body stays in between your feet. I don't want it to shift left or right. And as you turn, you've got to extend your spine, right? If I turned 90 degrees, I'd be in flexion, right? Because I'm in flexion here. Turn 90, extend the spine so that I'm straight up, and then tilt over so that now I can actually swing down and hit the golf ball. It's this extension piece in the backswing that helps move the arms. Okay, here we are. It's like that's as far as I can go and I'm chest down, but if I extend my spine, I can move my arms a lot further and a lot higher and more around me, right? Without that, we can't create enough centrifugal force and angular momentum to try to propel that club very far at all. So if I combine all these, wide stance, we're going to do a bowler drill, hit hard, stop quick. We're going to extend the spine a ton so that I can get my arms to go further around me and then stop short. I can get that ball to go a lot higher and a lot further with a lot less effort, right? I'm just setting myself up to make the swing as big as I can get it and move as fast as I can get it.